What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the US, let me know what country you're representing. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already, if you have not subscribed to the coldest, most honest, unapologetic channel on YouTube, you might want to do so right now. And after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. Also, fam, if you want to skip the line, you can jump into the super chat. The super chat will guarantee that your comment go noticed. And I am going to go in on this topic. I'll come back and check the super chat, and then I'll work my way over to the regular chat and see what you guys are saying. So this conversation about Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith's relationship and the infiltration, so to speak, of August Alsina has been a major point of discussion over the last several weeks. Now, fam, I'm gonna tell you straight out the gate, this ain't a nose. This is not gonna be one of those nosy type shows. It's not about a person, any of us, I don't believe, sticking our nose in other folks' business. I mean, they're putting it out there. It's a public discussion. But the reason why I wanted to talk about it, because to me, this is a tale of survival. This, I do believe, is an example. The way that they handled this, I thought it was very mature. This discussion that they had on Facebook, on that red table, I thought it was a very mature discussion. Like you, I only know what's being told to me. I have my suspicions, but I watched that interview, or was it an interview, or was just a discussion that they had? And to me, it came off very genuine. I saw the range of emotions in both of their faces and in their posture. And I could tell that Will was very much still injured by all of this, and Jada also. Now, here's the thing. Jada said that she wanted to clear the air. She said that she felt that one of the reasons why she wanted to come clean is because what she wanted to come to the table is the media, the headlines. She said that her and Will had specifically said nothing. They let people just talk, and they said nothing, and it just seems like things were kind of getting out of control, and they felt like the best thing to do was to go ahead on and speak up, say something about it, basically take control of their own discussion. So if you have not been following this, August Alsina claims that Will Smith gave him permission to have a sexual or a love affair with his wife, Jada Pinkett. Jada came on and said that she confirmed, there was an affair. It happened, she said, when her and Will were apart. At one point, they went their separate ways to try to find each other, is what they said, well, try to find themselves. Each one of them said, okay, you go out, and Will said that he was like, you go figure out who you are and come back, and then I'll go figure out who I am, and I'll come back, and if it makes sense, we'll be together. If not, we'll go our separate ways. So when at that moment when she went out to go find herself and he went out to go find himself, that she had this relationship with August Alsina, who he said that they met as that their family met. So apparently he was friends with the whole family, including Will. And he said that August Alsina was mentally unstable. And Jada said that, one of the things that she tried to do in the relationship was to I guess to fix him, so to speak. You know how women love projects, you know? And don't get me, don't ride me, women, for this, but I had to say it, you know, y'all do love projects. Y'all know that. But he, so after it seems that Jada was spending so much time with August, a relationship developed. And she said that at first she called it an entanglement, and Will was like, entangled? You know, what do you mean entanglement? Like, you know, so she went on to explain that one of the things that was going on with her was that, you know, she was damaged at the time, and she didn't know the right way to vent or to handle her situation. She didn't really know how to handle that situation, and she felt like she handled it the wrong way. In any event, she did come clean and say it did happen, the relationship, she did confirm, but she said that she did realize that, you know, after all was said and done, you know, it probably wasn't the right thing to do, but she also denied that it was a transgression. She said that Will said it was a transgression. She said, no, I don't think it was a transgression because I learned something from it. I do believe that you can commit a transgression and also learn from your transgression. In any event, Will said, they were talking about fixing themselves, and they was talking about unconditional love. And so at one point, Will said that he was going to get her back, meaning that he was going to step out and cheat or whatever, and have an affair. And she was like, hey, no, you've already done that, so let's not go there or whatever. And he kind of conceded with the chuckle. In any event, what I got out of that discussion was two people who are deeply in love with one another, or who was deeply in love with each other. They fell apart, they drifted apart at some point, and they realized that they were better together than they were apart. I thought it was a very mature discussion. I thought that it took a lot of balls for Will to sit there and listen to that and face the music like that, because as a man, once you enter a relationship with a woman, whatever she did before you kind of like have to accept, even if you don't like it, you didn't like it. If you're going to be with her, you got to accept that that was her past. But going forward, you want to feel like from the time you met her to where you are today, that woman is virtuous, and ain't no other man had any type of sexual relationships with her, like touching on her or anything. Like you don't want to have that thought. And for Will to be who he is, he's not just a dude, he's Will Smith. He's multi-millionaire, major celebrity, A-list celebrity. It's pretty much as big as they can get. And he has to reconcile that his woman not only stepped out on him, and I don't even know if you can consider it step out if y'all agree to go your separate ways and find each other, because once you decide to go your separate ways and find each other, you leave the door open for others to come in to infiltrate. So, you know, perhaps both of them understood that the other was fair game if you're going to send them out there. In any event, another man had been with his wife. Even though they were separated, they were still married. So he had been with his wife in the interim of them being separated. And that right there, to have everybody speaking on it, even us speaking on it right now, and some people speaking really, really reckless about it, don't know what they're talking about, being very disrespectful. So they have to hear all of that. He has to hear all of this and then take it all in and still say, that's okay, that happened. I'm with a woman who actually, okay, she ain't perfect. Okay, she isn't perfect. I thought she was perfect, but she's not perfect. But she thought I was perfect. I'm not perfect. But we're perfect for each other. Like, we figured it out. We went out and we found ourselves, and we figured it out that we do better together than apart. Overall, as a person, each one of them as an individual, it seems to me that they realize that individually, Will thought, well, man, I'm more happier when I'm with Jada. Jada, I'm more happier when I'm with Will. We just have to figure out how to communicate. And it seems like they figured out a way to actually communicate. And effective communication is the key to all healthy relationships. Apparently, they wasn't effectively communicating before all of this. But since this happened 4.5 years ago, according to Jada, but since they reunited, it appears that they're on the same page. And some people say, oh, they faking, they're lying and da. They really have no reason to fake. I mean, both of them got enough money to where they could go off and do their own thing. They got enough money and celebrity, and both of them, still relatively young and attractive, so they can go out and find somebody else and all of that stuff. But apparently, they feel like that they have found their soul mate. But let's go to the comments and see what you guys are saying. Let's see. First of all, I want to welcome some new members to the channel. E.T., A Theater Near You. Promise, Michael Brown, who is that? Lucas. Show him some love, fam. Denise also. Denise Algie Sampson, Denise Kaysen, Dalton Daniels, Brandon Brown, all new members to the WillieDLive channel. If you want to join the channel, fam, all you got to do is click on that join button. It's on your laptop or your desktop or your notebook. On your phone, you may not see the join button, but it will be in the description. So click on that thing, join the channel, get you some cool little perks and ride with us. You dig? Christina, I see you. What Christina talking about? Let's see. Christina says, usually I'm very pro-woman, but I feel like Will got tired of her bossy ways and cheating. He looked upset in that video. He loves her, but she's difficult, bringing up Tupac all the time. Huh. Yeah, okay. King C say you can't trust her. Aunt Bo says their business. Deuces. Maddie Marie, that little boy wasn't the only one. And check this out. From Will's reaction, it wasn't just an only one for him either. See, and I think that's something we got to get used to as men, that we're finally at a stage or an age where in an era where what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You can do all the right things in a relationship, and your woman or your man will still step out on you. If a person ain't fixed, if they're not right, they'll still step out on you. But if you're not doing all the things that you should be doing to make sure that your relationship is tight, they're guaranteed to step out on you. It's just a matter of time. Don't think, I'm talking to everybody out there within the sound of my voice right now, and those who can read lips. If you are not riding for your mate, if you are not providing security, if you are not being protective, if you are not providing assurance, if you're not being loving, thoughtful, generous, concerning, your mate is going to step out on you, no matter how much control you think you have, no matter how much more you think they love you than you love them. Sooner or later, they are going to step out on you, guaranteed. Again, you can do all the right things and they still may step out on you. They might do it. But if you don't, they're guaranteed to. So if you're in a relationship, the goal is to keep infiltrators out of your relationship. And one of the greatest ways to keep an infiltrator out of your relationship is make it hard on a hater. That's what I do. I make it hard on a hater. On all levels. I make it hard on them. See, some people get comfortable in relationships. Yeah, some people get real comfortable. Stop doing the things they used to do. Whatever you did to get them, that's what you got to do to keep them. Whatever you did to get them, that's what you got to do to keep them. At the minimum, that's what you have to do. James Jones says, I'm with Christina on this one. Will seems pretty pissed. Yeah, he did seem that he was pissed about it. But again, it showed his maturity to sit there and take it. You know, it's like when you break up, you know, if you break up with your child's mother, right? You may want to call her every name in the book because you feel like she did you dirty. But the mature thing to do would be to never fix your mouth to talk down to your child's mother, to not curse her out when you want to cuss her out. The best, that because ain't nothing good gonna come out of that. If you got a problem with your children's father, y'all break up, y'all busted up, the relationship get busted up, the best thing that you can do is act civil toward that man because you're raising human beings. And kids do what you do, not what they say. So if they see you calling each other names, acting a damn fool, acting like little kids, but you're grown, you got everything about you says you're grown except your temperament, acting like little third graders, cussing and fighting all the time and talking down to each other around the kids, you know, making the kids feel bad, making the kids choose sizes. That's immaturity, man. It's juvenile. So, you know, I salute them for at least being civil toward one another. And that's what you have to keep in mind when you are upset with your spouse, when you do have issues in the relationship, you got to make sure that you remain civility. You know, you maintain civility. And the way you maintain civility is, number one, to maintain respect, because all of that stuff is rooted in respect. So just maintain that respect, because once you give it up, once you lose it, it's hard to get it back. It's hard to get it back. Okay, Isha says, Will is not in love. It looks like he just tolerates the relationship. Will is out there doing his own thing with a younger version of Jada. You think so? I don't know if Will has to just continue to tolerate. You dig? I think that both of them decided when they split up that it had to be some changes or else. So this is the way I see it. I don't think that Will got to sit up here and lie to us because he don't owe us anything and he's not getting anything from us by lying. Like we're not gonna not watch a Will Smith movie because he decides that, yeah, I'm done with Dana. I'm done. I'm done with Jada. We're not gonna not watch his movie if he says he's done with Jada. And we're not gonna not watch a Will Smith movie if he said he's not done with that with Jada. Keep saying Dana, I'm thinking about somebody else. So that's the way I see it. Dolly Nicole says, I think Jada is over the marriage as well. I don't know. We'll see. You know, that fakeness can only hold up for so long. They've been 23 years strong. They've been going 23 years. Well, we can't say, well, 23 years, maybe 2 or 3, 4, 5 years or something wasn't so strong. But hey, 23 years deep. You got some people who can't even go 23 days in a relationship. Daryl Hardy says, what would you rather have, respect or love? Easy. That's real easy, respect. Because I can tell you this, because love can change, I'm put it like this. You can have respect. You can have respect with love, but it's hard to have love without respect. Elliot Thomas says, Will was always her rebound and they both knew it. Pac was who she wanted. Erica, you're right. Man, which? So did she get with the other guy now? Yeah, she got with the other guy. She admitted in the Red Talk discussion that she did have an affair with August Alsina, which I had suspected, and I said that yeah, I think that he did have a relationship with her, and she fessed up to it. And she didn't, she didn't badmouth him. She just said, she's basically saying, I'm gonna be respectful because there's other people's feelings involved. So I look at that like next level grown folk, behavior. I know we live in a type of world right now where grown ass people can't talk. They don't know how to talk to each other. They grown, they got kids and everything, and they don't know how to communicate. They're really bad with communicating. On all levels, they're bad communicating on their job, they're bad communicating with the person, their spouse, they're bad communicating with their kids, they're bad communicating with their neighbors, they're bad communicating with their friends, they're just really bad communicators. So I'm reading a lot of these comments. Corey Williams says she never wanted to be with Will. London Joy says Will did his fair share of cheating. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of people. It looks like most of y'all don't believe this relationship is solid. Willie with a Y says she loves Pac and no man can be Tupac. White Ghost says, how the heck she try to lecture to Snoop Dogg? Juice Lord says she would have cheated on Pac too. Good point, Mia. Mia Miles says someone can't be a rebound for 24 years. Excellent point. TKC says, I respectfully disagree. A relationship can't be solid if both people are looking for romance elsewhere. Well, I agree with that. So who are you respectfully disagreeing with? I don't know. Maybe you're trying to say that if the relationship can't be solid if both people are looking for romance elsewhere while in a full-fledged relationship. But if they're taking a time out, okay, you go and find yourself, I don't know if I want to be with you anymore. Will said that at one point he didn't know if he'd ever see her again, talk to her again. And so he wanted to be done with her. So if that's the case, I'm going to find myself and do me. You go do you. At this point, the relationship ain't solid. But if we come back, you come back to me, I come back to you, and we decide to try this thing again, then at that point, if the relationship, if we're true to one another and true to ourselves, and we're riding for each other, and we got each other back, then that's as solid as it gets. Clarence, what is that? Burns. I believe Will is still in love with Jada. He was just a little upset. Corey Williams says Jada is not loyal. Dr. Steinman, Will's been, I'll read that, bro. To be honest, it seems like it's always a weird vibe with their marriage. Michael Kumo says, maybe because I have divorced parents, I never understood stand together for the kids' defense. And here's a good point. Boxing MMA says they raised the family, now the kids have grown up. They can live their lives now. I respect that. See, oftentimes, if they would just stand together for the kids are grown now. Like my man here was saying, they're grown now. So if it was just about the kids, they can go ahead on and move around. Marcus Will only got upset at Jada when she started keeping secrets. They love each other. Jada and Will 50 plus old. What else they want? The Connect 15. Willie D is easily 50 years old, but looks 30. Salute. Appreciate you, Connect. Black don't crack. Mm-hmm. Clarence Burns says, I agree. True love always come back, not void. John Campbell says, it seems two people deep in love, they stood together overall with the good and the bad. Cool. Yeah, I'd say write a book. Write a book about how do you come back? Because that would be very difficult for me to do. In fact, I've never done it. I've never been in a relationship with a woman and went back. Now, if you're talking about like a little 1 week breakup, that's different. I ain't talking about that. I'm not talking about a 1 week breakup, but she go to her mom's for a couple of weeks, but you know, we take 4 or 5 days off, then we call. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about we break up, she go and start a whole new relationship with somebody else, or I go start a new relationship with somebody else, and then come back. I've never done that. And I know a few people who have been able to do it. I know people who have started off in relationships, married or whatever, and had kids, broke up. The other person went and had a life and was in a relationship with 3 or 4 or 5 different people, had babies and everything. And they came back 20 years later and remarried and just kept it moving. I've always thought that was, I thought it was kind of strange how people can do that. I don't think that I could do something like that. I'm not, you know, and I think for me it's trust, right? Because once we break up and we go our separate ways, typically that happens when you lose respect in some regard, or there's trust. Trust is lost. And so I'm big on trust. I'm big on that. So if I feel like I can't trust a person once, I feel like I can't trust them again. And that's just how I rock. I feel like if they'll leave me once, they'll leave me twice. If they let me get away once, they'll let me get away twice. I'm just, yeah, that's just one of my things. Yeah. But hey, it works for some people. Some people can do it. Kenneth McKay says, who cares? It's their life. Live it up. Kenneth, check this out, homie. And I want you to take this in a good way. Anytime I hear somebody say, who cares? The first thing that comes to my mind is you. That's why you're commenting, because you care. Like when somebody put up a post or a comment or whatever, and somebody says, who cares? That is just, to me, the most asinine thing, because if you don't care, don't even give it any attention. I wouldn't give it any energy. Like stuff that I don't care anything about, I don't give it energy. Like I won't comment I won't say anything because I don't care at all. So it don't even it's not even something I wish to acknowledge. I wouldn't spend any energy on it. That's when you know you really don't care. That's when I know you really don't care. But if somebody put up a post and you say, who cares? Uh, Generally you're the one who cares. You know, that's just me. I don't know. Some of you may see it differently, but that's the way I see it. But I do agree that it's their life. Live it up. B. Skrill says he was better off saying no comment. You know what? I kind of like, sometimes you are, but he said no comment for a long time. I think sometimes it's good for people to see how to deal with this type of stuff because otherwise you're thinking, man, what does Will think? I mean, what's going on? Poor Will. Will's being tortured. Like, is he tripping on this? How is his mental? Like you're thinking about a lot of. I think it's good for people when they're going through a tough situation to address it at time. Not all the time, but sometimes I think it's good to address situations just so others can see an example of how to get through tough times. How do you get through it? And sometimes it's therapeutic to share your story. So I personally think it was a good thing for him to speak on it, to be there to speak on it. I thought she was going to call herself to the table by herself or with her mother and her daughter. But I thought it was, and I thought it was kind of funny, but it's serious at the same time. When Will said, I guess I'm sitting here, I'm like the husband and you're doing the press conference, like you didn't went out and, I'm trying to stand by your side after your transgressions. Yeah, I thought it was a really good discussion between two people who obviously love each other, but who had went through a rough patch in their relationship, and they found a way to reconnect and take their relationship to the next level. I thought it was a very good discussion. And I think actually a person can use that discussion. I mean, not judging, not saying what you think of this might have happened or what this person was really feeling. I'm just saying, taking that interview or taking that discussion for face value, just for what we saw and what we heard. I think that is a good example of how people should communicate. Couples should communicate when they go through, a rough patch, and just talking about discussing how they, reinvented their relationship, how they reconnected, how they pulled it back together, snapped out of it. I thought that was a very, very good discussion. Well, y'all really are not buying that discussion, that table talk. Y'all going in. NES Record says, bro, this is why you can't look up to these celebrities. The good thing was they talk like adults. Sean Lord said, Will has to be one of the strongest men in the world to watch his marriage fall apart, try to pick it back up, and just roll with the punches. Michael says, a lot of Hollywood relationships are set by agents, so the clients get more roles offered. Yeah, this is not one of those, though. Both of them got enough money where they can call their own shots. They are the agents. You know, they can call their own shots. They could fire their agent today and still get a major job, just representing themselves because they own their own production studio. They can go and, make whatever movie they want to make and get it funded. Quentin Quarantino said, Quentin Quarantino. Yeah, I'm not buying they little talk. There's Coop. Coop says, Will is cheaper to keep her. There goes Serena. Where you been, Serena? Hi, Willie. How long have you been on? I'm getting ready to go off, Serena. What's the subject? I accidentally stumbled on your live. I hope you're well. Yeah, talking about Jada Pinkett and Will Smith addressing the headlines about the August Alsina affair. Jada confirmed that, yes, indeed, they did have an affair. And it happened when she and Will relationship was on hiatus. Or hiatus. KJ, the kid says August is a young boy. He don't know how to move like a grown man. Breezy Life says Jaden introduced August to Jada, so I know the son's sick. Huh. All right, fam. Stayed on this a little longer than I wanted to, but I really just covered this because I wanted to just talk about how relationships kind of evolve when people find themselves falling out of love. They step back, and then sometimes they step back, and then they try to do without each other for a while, and they find themselves coming back to one another. And I just wanted to put that out there, that it is possible, because they did it. I don't think that that the relationship is being propped together or propped up under false pretenses. I think what they have is a genuine love for one another. But like all people, they go through things in their relationships, and we can sit back and judge, what they're going through, and make fun and poke and all that. But these are two people that have experienced, some real things, some real issues in life, and figured out a way how to get through them. They got, kids together, and to me, that discussion showed a certain level of maturity. I just don't see a lot. I just don't see a lot of that. And you can still, it showed also that you can be hurt. You can be still hurt. You can be hurt. You can forgive and move on and be civil, and still actually, be together and learn to respect each other and love each other all over again. And I think that's a good thing. Perhaps I'm reading it wrong. I don't know, but that's just what I got out of it. But drop a comment, and we'll continue this discussion. Until then, fam, no more talk.